Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Are you ready for Lunchtime Live? Are you ready to talk about some things? Because I'm here to talk about some things. Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, everything in between. It is the Raccoonchador, the Toy Store Luchador. My name is Thrash, but you can call me Audrey because we're friends and we're here today at lunch. Be live on Twitch. We were trying to do multi-stream for a while, and it seems to drop us a lot of frames. We're not too keen on that. So in an effort to make sure that that doesn't happen, we will, as of right now, be streaming on Twitch and uploading our VODs onto our Meta platforms and YouTube. I'll look into getting things working better. I know that streaming to YouTube, we didn't really drop too many frames. With Meta by itself, I dropped many frames. So we want to make sure that we're able to get to everybody. And unfortunately, that's just not the easiest thing to do right now. So we're going to be on Twitch. We'll upload all that stuff there. We're looking at the possibility of going live on other days on other platforms, but until I can get the issue with Meta Live fixed, it looks like I'm not going to be able to do Facebook Live. Even if I do it by itself, it drops hundreds of frames right off the jump. So I do apologize, everybody that's here that's possibly watching this because it's been uploaded to Meta. But that situation is something that's out of our control. So what do you say? You want to go wide shot today? Hello. Let's break in to the easiest thing to start with, my mask. I am wearing a Penta mask today. It is based on, you can see it here. Here, let's get a close up so we can just show off. Is based on Mortal Kombat. Got nice, fun gold accents. I am wearing this over my own custom mask specifically for comfort reasons. Just having some issues today, and it set on my face weird. And unfortunately, that can happen to people like me that work in toys. So we are in the comfy mask. Yes. It is just as comfy as can be, but you know, we're still rocking the toast all day long. Welcome, Texas Toast Chainsaw Massacre official. Glad to see that you're here. So, store news. The big thing to start off with. No Pokemon yet. None of our TCG stuff has made it in. We don't know. It should be here today. At least our booster boxes and booster packs should be here today. Whenever it comes to it, we don't know exactly when. It could be even right as I'm doing this. Somebody could come down here and be like, hey, we got Pokemon. So I'll be posting it as soon as I know that we have it. ETBs, on the other hand, those we already knew there was a delay on. We were already going to make a post about it. Looks like we will have ETBs next week. But the good thing about that is if everybody else is sold out of the Phantasmal Flames, you know you can come here and get it. We have restocked in this situation, talking about cards, on our Final Fantasy and our Spider-Man Magic the Gathering. It looks like we are getting a normal amount of that in. So you can go ahead and swing through and pick that up, as well as Yu-Gi-Oh! And Battle Dome. We are also partnered specifically with Upper Deck. So if there are any types of Upper Deck cards coming out, now keep in mind that's not like WWE cards and stuff. That's Topps, it's a different company. Just go ahead and let us know. You know, yeah, we'd love to help stock the things that you're looking for. The donations for the Sheboygan County Food Bank are still running all the way through Christmas. So we have a bin that's by the door. If you come in on Wednesdays and donate, we'll get you 10% off your entire purchase. But if it's not a Wednesday, you still get the gratification and satisfaction of knowing that you're helping people that are less fortunate than yourself. And that's always a good thing, you know, help bring the feeling of joy. We will be closed on Thanksgiving. Okay. We have families the same as everybody else. So, you know, we're going to go and be with those people. Have a great Thanksgiving. The next day, we will be having a Black Friday sale. I don't know what that looks like yet. The higher ups haven't given me any direct information, but you can rest assured that I will make a square graphic green text that tells you whenever we have that information. You know, and I also just, we don't do this very often. I just want to touch on the fact that we do have a lot of things in store that we just don't post on social media because it's either it doesn't fit into the mold of some of the posts that we're doing, or maybe it's too big to ship and it's in store only. Um, you know, we don't always ship Lego. We don't ship consoles. Um, I mean, we even have a whole Steel Battalion in a box that's missing nothing but the cardboard inserts. So you never know what you're going to find. Stop into the store, take a look, and if there's something that you're looking for, feel free to reach out and see if we have it. There's a possibility we might actually have it in store and we're not going to ship it. That's just how that goes. Like we have a HasLab Sky Striker up there. It's not set to ship. But if you need one, you can hit us up and we can try to work some things out. The layaway program is still running until Christmas. So all you have to do is come in and put down at least 10% down, and then we'll put it upstairs and we'll hold it till you can pay it off, which would be somewhere around Christmas. And if it, you know, that's great for gift giving, amazing for gift giving. I'm sure plenty of you, if you're watching this at least collect toys or know people who do. And if you know people who do and you don't know what they collect, we also have gift cards. That way you can give them the gift of whatever they want in collectibles at Freaktoyz. Now, that's a lot of shilling. And I do that because I love this place, not because I have to, because I choose to. But I probably should, given that it's the Freaktoyz channel. Anyway, let's jump into some toy news. Go on my proper tab. Hold on now. Oh, just go from here then. We'll pull it up. Man, all right. It is stuck on that tab. No idea what's going on. Give me 1 second. I need to troubleshoot. Even wow. It appears as though my streaming software is having a bit. Give me just one moment here. We need to refresh our browser. I'm sure. All right. Now we should be bada bing, bada boom. Welcome to NewsView. All right. Let's start off with the thing that has me the most excited out of all of this. Donatello is getting a 1/6 scale Mondo figure. I'm not normally big on 1/6 scale figures, but sometimes the pictures just kind of do it and show you exactly a thing that you need. So he's already sold out. I'm sure he went live today. It's a 10-inch figure, but just look at all of his detail and all of his parts. Get the metalhead head. He has a mouse. He has two Mousers. Two. Dos Mousers. They are. Look at all of these accessories. You've seen the Mauser at the bottom, so you don't need to see that again. But everything else that you can see here, we have like the communicator with metalhead. We have multiple different weapons. We have several different hands. We have up here, which I can't reach all the way up, but we have screwdriver. We have a wrench. We have a grappling hook. We have like video game controllers. We have headsets. We have two different bows, different heads and stuff like that. And the crazier thing about this is it appears that those eyes can be swapped over for any head. So this boy is just absolutely cool. And we'll get into some more Mezco stuff or some more Mondo stuff later. But as of right now, let's harp on the positives. Let's talk about how cool this is. Is this something that I'm likely going to get? No. And again, that's only because it's probably sold out instantly. These Mondo pre-orders go. Got to be on the ball. But if he were to come into the store, third party, somebody else brings him in, they've already bought him, they're tired of having him, would it be something that I'd be interested in buying? Absolutely. He's just beautiful. And Mondo proves again that whenever they're doing realism in sculpts, they actually know what they're doing. I wish they would have given this Reverie to the Street Sharks figures. They're a little more stylized in a way that I don't like, but this, it just does. Number 2, SH Figure Arts just announced everything under the sun. They just had 2 days where they were talking about all kinds of stuff. So we have Radiation Heat Ray Godzilla from 2004. We have Kamen Rider 01. They announced Kamen Rider Black RX. They are just going ham with the Kamen Rider license. And more importantly, we're getting a Jackie Chan. We're getting a Jackie Chan from Project A, to be exact. One of my favorite Jackie Chans of all time. Yes, that Final Wars Goji is so great. They're literally right now. SH Figure Arts is just like floodgates are open. They just announced, I know, 2014 Godzilla. So they'll be doing Legendary Godzilla in SH Monster Arts form, and I'm really curious to see what they do with the articulation for the head and the tail. So I'm really big on the Goji news. I just typically don't buy Monster Arts anymore because they're really big, and I really like the way that Haya things right now. Plus, you know, for the price that I can pay aftermarket for a Monster Arts because it's going to sell out, I can get an X Plus. I think about that often. So, Jackie Chan, Project A. This is just great. The only thing that I have a problem with is the area between the legs where you can obviously see the pegging. I think that in this situation for real characters like this is a perfect use for cloth goods. I would have loved it if it was just like a base skeleton body with like just some pants on it. You could have even left the plastic top and just the knees been weird and stuff like that. I might pick this guy up, but I'm definitely not going to have him in this pose. And this is the weirdest default pose for you to show him in my opinion, because I'm sure he looks great in all the others. On top of that, as stellar as can be, these Clone Wars SH Figure Arts are mind-blowingly close to what the animated film looks like. They've been doing really good with that, and the one photo we have of it, they do a very good job at showing off, well, the lack of visible joints. As you can see here in the arm, it doesn't look all frumpy. The armor does a lot to hide all that. We're also going to be getting a Revenge of the Sith Anakin, which has a cloth, you know, Jedi robe, which makes me question again, if you're going to do cloth goods, why didn't you just give Jackie Chan pants? I don't know. Regardless, this line looks awesome. I like the likeness. And if you're interested in more of the stuff that SH Figure Arts have announced, I typically don't send people over to X very often because it's not a place that I like. But that is where SH Figure Arts have all of that posted. So you can go ahead and check them out, see what they have to say. All right. In the last bit of toy news today, let's talk about Funko. Here's the crazy thing about Funko Pops, because it's like it says here. If you walk in any geek shop and you'll see a wall of Funko Pops. We sell so many Funko Pops daily. Everyone claims that they dislike Funko Pops. Or at least a lot of people claim that they dislike Funko Pops. But we see them sell like gangbusters. We understand that it's because there are properties that you can get Funko Pops of, can't get in other properties, right? That's one of the big ones. So that helps with like gift giving and buying and stuff like that. All of that being said, it looks like the way that they have bet the farm on Funko needs to change. There's a lot of chat, and the fact that they said they might not last the year. They also do bring up, when they say they might not last the year, that they have a new CEO and they hope that he can turn things around. And I hope so too. This is on the wake of them trying to get a big piece of their own third-party reseller pie with changing the way that like Funko exclusive stuff works. We said then it was going to shoot them in the foot, and it looks like that's exactly what happened. That's why that CEO. We'll see exactly what happens moving on from here. The one thing that I hope is, because Mondo, I don't put it, Mondo, who owns Funko, likes to keep their subsidiaries separate. I do foresee them possibly selling Funko and somebody else getting into the market there. Yeah, that game. That's a good point. Macho Frost brought up that Funko dumped a bunch of money into a Funko Fusion game that absolutely flopped. And they used a lot of odd licenses in that game. As to my knowledge, it is the only game that has a Shaun of the Dead level multiple times. I've not played it, but it also was, trying to cash in on a whole Toys to Life fad that died a decade ago. So I'm hoping they can pull themselves out of it for both business, because, we're a toy store, these are things that we sell, and this actually helps bridge the gap between what I would say your hardcore collector and your standard layman's toy collector. This helps bridge that gap. This is something that kind of everybody can hop into, and with those not being there, that's not good for the toy industry. So let's see where that goes. I hope that if something does happen with Funko, at least somebody can acquire licenses, or maybe we can start seeing a rise in more things like U2s are a good Funko competitor that I enjoy. They make really plushies. Their vinyl figures are pretty great. They do a weird thing with the eyes as well, but they're not all square-headed. They actually look like the character that they're supposed to be. So I hope that we at least see a rise in something like that. If Funko goes away, we definitely need to see something take its place, because your layman collector doesn't want to pay the $50 or $60 it takes to get like a. And with that being said, that's going to bring a wrap to just the toy news for today. I know there's a lot more that we could have talked about, but really, whenever it comes down to it, most of it is just pre-orders, and we don't typically deal with pre-orders. We get things in as they come in. We buy, sell, trade. We do get a lot of new stock in, but a good majority of our stock is secondhand. It is things that are brought in by other collectors. And because of that, why we don't touch too much. So, with that being said, why don't we jump in to my favorite point? Wrestling news. Did you know John Cena has won the Intercontinental Championship off of Dominic Mysterio to become a Grand Slam champion? He did so in Boston as well. Good on him. I love that he got to do so in his hometown. Now, do I think they should have stripped the belt off of Dom? Maybe. I really felt like it would have been more monumentous, or it would have been somebody like Braun Breaker, somebody on the lower league. But it is pretty cool that it's John Cena. John Cena finally holding the one belt that he hasn't held before. I'm sure he's just going to vacate it or drop it really soon. But this also does appear like if he doesn't, whoever is his last opponent might win the IC title. Do you think they're going to make John Cena go over clean in his final match while holding a belt? Because I don't. I think that it's a really weird situation that he has the belt, knowing that he only has a couple of more appearances, and we know that he has an announcement better night. So we'll see what's going on with that. Anyway, good on you, John. I'm glad that you're a Grand Slam champion. You, in my mind, are probably the closest thing to a modern Hulk Hogan. So far, you don't seem like a terrible person, so I'm glad that it happened to you. I'm glad that you got to be a Grand Slam champion. Congratulations. It's not like you're watching this, but still, congratulations. Up next, WWE this morning signed Joe Hendry. He's not here, is he? Unfortunate. Anyway, Joe Hendry is now signed by WWE. We don't know if that means that he's immediately going to main roster. They could put him on NXT, but the amount of appearances he's had on the main roster says that that might be where he ends up going. Only time will tell, but good on him. He's making that paper and making that bag. I've said multiple times, this is not the promotion for me, but it is the promotion for a lot of people. And I'm glad that some of my favorite people are just making it, man. Make that money. You make that money. We'll just say money. This made me smile. And anyone who knows me, including the one person who might be in chat right now, will know exactly why this made me smile. Boy, howdy. Okada makes a stunning return to New Japan Pro Wrestling and called out Tanahashi for Wrestle Kingdom 20. Okada, he has not been back in New Japan in like 2 years. And for him to come out and just after, well, you know what? That iconic coin drop, the fact that like Okada, one of my absolute favorite wrestlers from New Japan, is back and he's there. And this is also Tanahashi's retirement tour as well. Everybody's on a retirement tour. It looks like 2026 is a crazy year for wrestling. We're not going to have Tanahashi anymore. We're not going to have John Cena anymore. It's the last year for AJ Styles. There's a couple of other people that have said that they are going to retire. Wow, that's a lot. And because of that, the wrestling landscape is really changing. With that being said, Okada showing up, challenging Tanahashi, he's just, I want him to win. All I'll say. The Rainmaker is king. And you know what? That's kind of the last of the wrestling news that I had, besides the very sad. This, I'm just going to read it out. It struck me very, very in the feels. Um, I'm a big indie person, so let's just go ahead and read this. This is from Deadlock Pro Wrestling. The Federation, not the podcast that's ran by the people who run the Federation. Hey, everybody. The next DPW event will be our 4th anniversary in Cary, North Carolina on Friday, December 12th. We will run one more event in Japan in 2026, but this will be the final DPW event for the foreseeable future. We have decided to make an event, a fundraiser event to help families in the area close the 2025 holiday season and head into it. Talk about everything that's going on and then follow it up with, it has been an absolute pleasure to produce DPW events these past 4 years. Thank you to all the fans, wrestlers, and everyone behind the scenes who made this possible. We are extremely proud of what we have accomplished, and we decided to celebrate with a great anniversary event in December. Thank you for everything. It's sad. I literally, I subscribe to Deadlock's Patreon, and I literally sent them a message probably, it was in January, asking them if they were looking at touring, because I would love to have them in Wisconsin. And around that time, they said, we're looking into touring, but it doesn't look feasible yet. I said, yet. And we find out that they will be doing a Japan show. That doesn't, anybody that watches this podcast knows that they went to Japan. So that doesn't surprise me. I'm glad that they're finally going to be able to do this DPW Japan event. I don't know exactly what caused this to happen. This is one of my favorite indie promotions on the planet. It also happens at just the worst possible time. Queen Aminata is currently the female W champion, the women's champion. And she can't defend that. She has a neck injury. So they aren't able to defend that title on that final show. Deadlock, I wish you all the luck in the world. I hope this isn't burnout. Or maybe, you know what? I hope it is burnout. I hope it is burnout in the chance that maybe you come back, because you, to me, were the closest thing to a super indie we had. UCW is what a lot of people say, but they're kind of in the pocket of a couple of other bigger promotions, so not really a super indie as much as DW was. I love you guys. Please, if it's a money situation, I hope you find an angel investor. We just hope to see you come back bigger and stronger than ever, because this is incredibly disappointing. And with the way that professional wrestling is, yes, we need PWG back now. Excalibur, reach out to the people that you know. Make this happen. We don't have the wrestling that we need anymore. Once this is gone, it's the end of a specific type of wrestling until somebody else can pick it up. There are plenty of people that already have built-in audiences. We should look at those. Come on, do this. Get this bread. With that being said, we've been live for roughly 27 minutes, and we try to go about half it. So, I do want to thank everybody that tuned. Next week, we should have some more information when it comes to our Black Friday sale. Keep in mind, we are closed Thanksgiving. Look forward to our Monday media staff picks. We throw on all of our video and social media channels every Monday. I work hard on those. And subscribe to our YouTube, subscribe to our Twitch. If you're watching this somewhere and you're not following us, but we've uploaded it and somehow it's ended its way up into your feed, please give us a follow or a like or a subscribe or whatever it is on the platform that you're on. Remember, we're on Blue Sky. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. We're on Meta platforms. So that's Facebook and Instagram. Technically, we have an X. We just don't use it. You can follow us anywhere, and on most of them, we will be active. But until next week, or until you hear my voice again on Monday, because you subscribed and wanted to watch the staff pick video, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, friends. Thank you for tuning in.